So continuing with our migration, just to recap, we have HCX deployed hybrid cloud extension, both on-prem and AVS, sitting in US West region. They've been set up as a pair between the two locations. We took one of the on-prem layer 2 segments, 10.193, and extended this over to AVS. In the next step, we took one of the VMs sitting on the on-prem segment and did a bulk migration over to AVS. All of that went well. We are seeing the traffic patterns as predicted. By default, the gateway was on-prem, so the traffic going from one segment to the other would go through the gateway and then come back, even though the VMs are sitting in the same AVS location. So next, we're going to enable mobility optimized network. Basically, it will add optimized routing, where the system is going to check if the destination VM is in the same AVS, then it's going to do local switching instead of going over the tunnel and coming back. Okay, so I'm going to switch to the lab, and we're going to enable mobility optimized network on the extended segment. So if you remember, we are on the on-prem HCX in the network extension tab, and this is the VLAN which we had extended earlier and migrated the VM over. And now I'm going to basically come here and you see the slider for mobility optimized networking. I'm going to enable that. Okay. It gives me a warning. Hey, it might affect traffic pattern, which is understandable. I'm going to enable this and wait for the system on the on-prem side to talk to HCX on the AVS side, and network extension will be updated to make sure mobility optimized networking is enabled at the segment level. After this is finished, since we have already migrated the VM without MON being turned on, so now after setting up the whole segment as MON enabled, we have to go and enable the VMs also to be MON enabled. So right now, as you can see on the right, the system is working through enabling MON. So we're going to give it some time to finish its work. So the network which got extended earlier, MON has been enabled on it, which has been successful. Now the system is showing us a virtual machine, which we had enabled earlier. And now we can go in and make sure MON is enabled for that. So we've configured the target router location to be local inside of AVS, and maybe we can set it up for the whole location, and we're going to hit submit. Just a warning, gonna go ahead and hit OK. And the system is going through updating the network extension appliance on the AVS side, and NSX also will be updated on the AVS side. So MON has now been enabled on this particular VM. As you will see, a MON label has showed up here. So now the test comes like we were seeing earlier. The ping to the local VM was going around the world because the timer was set at 120 millisecond. So we're going to execute the same test again. And now you'll see it's sub-millisecond. So it's locally switched within AVS. So that has successfully enabled MON within AVS at this stage. We can go and look at few additional things if we want to. So now I'm on the NSX within AVS, the US West location. I'm on tier 1 gateway. I picked our default TN48T1, which is our local gateway for the MON enabled subnet. And we can go and check the static route here. As you'll notice, static route has been injected for our VM with a /32 mask. So every VM which is MON enabled, a static route would be created for this, and this triggers generation of BGP routes from a T0 level to all the peers outside of AVS. So anybody trying to reach our .204 network will now have a layer 3 routed path to get to the VM directly through the T0 and T1 and won't have to go through the HCX layer 2 tunnel. Okay, so our MON test has been successful at this point. That concludes this session.